Hello, friends and fans everywhere. Once again, it is your fitness captain, Jason, speaking here. How are you guys feeling today? I hope you're enjoying the weekend thus far. I'm going to show you guys and gals, ladies and men out there, some arm exercises again. All right? Are you ready? Okay, let's go. Let's get warmed up. Here we go. Now let's start out, usually I start out with my weakest arm first. So, same with you guys, everybody. I'm right-handed, so if you're right-handed, you might want to start out with your left arm first, okay? We're going to isolate one arm at a time, which is great. Anytime you can isolate one arm at a time, it's great. It takes a little bit longer to finish your workout, but that's okay. Now, we're going to do the one-arm cable curls for the girls with the cables. I'm taking a nice athletic stance again. My left leg is forward, right leg back, braced flat on the ground. The key on this exercise, we're going to keep that elbow in tight to our side, and we're just going to curl straight up. You don't want to move the shoulder too much. And it looks like this. You ready? Okay. Oh, hold on. I had a big lunch, but oh, and before I forget, friends and fans, I meant to say you can find me on YouTube at Fitness Captain SD. That's Fitness Captain SD, E-S-T-E-Y. And I'm going to be putting a lot of geopolitical videos, hopefully, on YouTube as well. My last video, you'll see it there, is actually speaking about the UFO phenomenon, which I think is the most important subject of humankind, really, of mankind. And you'll see why when you listen to that video. The UFO phenomenon, friends. And I'm talking about the military-industrial complex as well on the video. And speaking a little bit about history, about what's been going on since the 1930s, really, with the UFO phenomenon. Very important. Listen to it, friends and fans. And about our secret space program. You hear me, Joe Mann? Joe Mann's wife doesn't think Joe Mann believes in the secret space program. I think she's incorrect. Joe Mann must believe in that and know that because it's a known fact. I mean, the military basically admits we have spy satellites. They're weaponizing space. But I'm talking things in the secret space program that are UFOs, that are flying to the moon and Mars, that aren't relying on our dinosaur technology, fossil fuels, which is bullshit, rockets. Give me a break. We've had anti-gravity since 1954. Don't get me started, friends and fans. When I get talking about the UFO phenomenon and our amazing technology that we possess, moreover the military, I get so pumped up and excited. I want these elitists out there to hire me as their personal trainer and to be knowledgeable, to be put into these classified programs because I want to see these UFOs up and close and personal. You know what I'm saying? We should all have access to this amazing free energy technology. Rockets are ruining our atmosphere, friends and fans. You know it. So watch that video on YouTube. I need some views and I need some honest comments on YouTube. And preferably, I could really use some likes on there too. I've only got one view on there so far, and I just posted the other day. But let's stay focused, shall we? Back to the workout here in the gym by myself. For you, friends and fans, everywhere. You ready? Okay, one arm curls. Just like this, curling right to your face, basically, your chin. Release, down nice and slow. My elbows just slightly bent still. Just a tiny break in the elbows. From here, bending your elbows, squeezing the biceps at the top. I've got to strain the left shoulder, so I'm taking it easy, but I'm still going to show you. Yeah, just like that. Keep the abs tight, I always say, right? Protects the back. You can get a good ab workout just by bracing your abs in an arm workout. Yeah, just like that. I did arms this morning. Yes. You guys got some more videos coming your way. Yeah. Now that is a wicked exercise. That's the one-arm cable curls for the girls. Yeah. Right arm, here we go. Same idea, except I'm gonna, personally, I put my right foot forward for the right arm, left leg back, okay? Here we go. You ready? I'm ready, here we go. Yes. Squeeze those biceps at the top. Yeah, see this rope here? I can even give myself a spot. You may have the same kind of handle apparatus in your gym. Either way, you can give yourself a spot also by the wrist when you get fatigued. Okay? Here we go. This is my strong arm. I'm right-handed. Yes. Exhale at the top. Inhale in the bottom. Keep that rhythm. Yeah, I'm feeling it already, friends and fans. Elbow into your waist, tight to your torso. Yes. Curling straight up. Squeeze those buys. Yeah, I'm feeling it. Come on, baby. Yeah, you want strong arms? Oh, this will give you strong arms. Woo! Yes. Right on. Always flex. It's always great for the muscles also to flex. Helps keep them even more toned. Okay? Woo! Yeah. We'll show you another arm exercise in a moment. Okay, friends and fans. Now it's time for some hammer curls. Now, hammer curls looks like this. Okay? Take your athletic stance, shoulder width apart, your feet, your legs. From here, we're just gonna bend our elbows, squeezing the dumbbells to the opposite side of the chest and down, right? Like this. Just diagonal. We're working our forearms and our biceps. Yeah, just like that. Squeeze. Release. Keep a slight break in the elbows. Just like that. These are hammer curls. You can also do it this way, friends and fans. Straight up like this. Your wrists are pronated, facing each other. Just like that. Yeah. Again, it builds forearm strength, building your brachialis and your biceps. Yeah. Now the right arm going to the left side of the pec, top of the chest, just like that, back down. Left arm, right side of the chest, right across the body. Elbows in tight. Yeah. Just feeling it. Squeezing the arms, the forearms, the biceps. They're pumped. Yeah. Just like that. Woo. Yeah. Why do I do that exercise? Why do I show you, friends and fans? Because it gives you that definition. It's particular right here, the brachialis, I call it. Right in here for the biceps, right? That's what we're working by doing that exercise. And your forearms. You want strong forearms, okay? Again, this is all about being able to give that loving embrace to your partner or whoever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I just love working out. Nurtures the synergy between the body, mind, and spirit, I always say, right? You know it. So again, Fitness Captain reminder, go to Fitness Captain Esty. Learn about the UFO phenomenon, about what's really going on in our world, and about a lot of secrecy that's been going on since really the 1930s. Building bases in Antarctica since the 1930s. The Germans started that. Now we've got US, Russia, China, all the big countries, of course, in Antarctica, the military. Just a huge infrastructure, huge consortium of military intelligence services down there, building bases. We have bases, I should say, for decades and decades underneath the ice. And we got UFOs coming up. You'll see the evidence and hear about it on my videos. I got a lot more to talk about with the UFO phenomenon as well. I'm going to talk about the trillions of dollars that are getting dumped into the military industrial complex for years and years and years. And we got brilliant minds like Catherine Austin Fitts, who's a brilliant accountant, very, very great woman. She worked in the housing department under the Bush administration. She's been trying to track the trillions of dollars along with her friends. Where are all these trillions of dollars going from, the government, the private sector, and the public? Where is it going? She realized too that it's going largely to a secret space program. And underground, that includes underground bases as well. We got underground bases right here under national parks and all over the world and underneath the oceans. And of course, it's going towards building these UFOs, flying them with cargo to the moon, space. We also got cargo being carried by shuttle missions. I mean, it just goes on. And it's so easy to connect the dots, friends. The evidence is there. Just go to YouTube. And on my other videos I'm going to talk about, just go to YouTube on the STS missions, and you'll hear the astronauts, and you will see UFOs near their shuttles, literally following them around, playing games. I mean, and the astronauts talk about it, except the astronauts, they can't talk too much about what they've seen and what they know, because of course the shadow government, deep state, whoever's controlling the information, and people who have the power are telling the astronauts, don't talk about the secret space program. Don't tell them too many details. So, but it's there. All the evidence is there. You've got literally probably thousands of videos now that you can see on YouTube of unidentified flying objects in space. There was actually a researcher, friends, that was in a wheelchair. He had a terrible condition, so he had to live in a wheelchair, and he had a wife. They were in a house, and all he did 24/7 in his life when he was awake was he had an obsession with studying about UFOs, trying to follow UFOs on video from the NASA feeds. He always wanted to get as many videos as he can of unidentified flying objects that aren't supposed to be there, flying above Earth's orbit. And this guy came out with amazing videos. And that's all he did. And it's such an honor that he did that. Thankfully, a very prolific author and a brilliant mind, a great guy, Richard Dolan. You may have heard of him. He talks at the secret space programs as well, the conferences, and has great books out. He was able to get access to this guy's videos from the wife, and now has them in his archives, and it's all safe now, and he's got access to all the videos. So anybody can see this stuff. Again, so I hope, friends and fans, you'll listen to my video. Again, on the UFO phenomena, I got some workout videos below as well, and I'll be posting more workout videos. I'll definitely post more recent workout videos on YouTube. But I want you to listen about the UFO phenomenon, friends and fans, because again, it's the most significant, important, and profound subject in our lives. It really is. And as I said in the video, we live in a remarkable and privileged era, friends and fans. You know why? Because we live in the informative information superhighway, uninhibited, unedited, that being the internet primarily. And of course, we live in an era of space travel and exploration. And it's so exciting just to think about all the discoveries yet to come, right? For example, the James Webb Telescope. One of probably the greatest scientific instrument of all time. It gave us astonishing images of our dynamic solar system and beyond for 20 years, right? I mean, it gave us a dramatic and colorful trip, as I always say, right back almost to the very beginning of time, to the Big Bang, or a few million years after the Big Bang. It showed pictures. It actually gave us, again, pictures that are so powerful they're known worldwide. Excuse me. And pictures that resemble framed pieces of art, just beautiful. The Hubble telescope made amazing discoveries. I think, what is there, like, now we concur, I think there's 6 billion planets just in our galaxy alone, maybe even more. I mean, again, this universe it seems infinite, and it very well may be infinite. It's so vast we can't even really comprehend it, right? I mean, there's literally hundreds of billions of galaxies. It's just incredible. I mean, our universe is so wondrous, exciting, far-reaching, and complex, much more than we ever imagined, friends and fans. Again, as telescopes become bigger and more sophisticated, they allow us to hunt for the edge of space. They allow us to be able to appreciate nowadays the tapestry, majesty, and glory of the universe like never before, right? I mean, it's true. And for that reason, now that more than ever, when we look up at the stars, each and every one of us, it should give a cosmic humility in all of us to realize just how vast this universe is. And again, how complex, far-reaching, and wondrous. I mean, it's great to be alive. And as great as the Hubble telescope was, and it was a game changer, we're going to have another game changer next year, because we're launching the James Webb telescope, which is going to take over from the Hubble. It's a cold telescope. It's beautiful. I watched a documentary on it. If you can watch it as well, friends and fans, on YouTube. And it releases like a flower. And it's going to go millions of miles into space, whereas Hubble orbited, I think, 375 miles above the Earth's surface, right? Well, the James Webb's going to go way out farther. And the big difference is between that and the Hubble is that James Webb is designed to see in the deep infrared of space, friends. So it's going to be able to pierce through those dust clouds, revealing the delicate star formation beneath. And so scientists know they're going to make amazing discoveries. We're going to see those delicate structures of the star formations. We're going to see the universe, the light when the universe was in its infancy, at its birth. And they're going to reveal the atoms and space and everything. I mean, it's just going to be awesome. And it may reveal, oxygen, methane, different chemical compounds from planets many light years away. And therefore, we may be able to find out if there's actually life on a planet with the oxygen and methane that is produced when you have life. So this is awesome, friends. And other telescopes are trying to get that technology as well. We're trying to find out if we can detect life on another planet, whether it be microbial, plant life, whatever. And the big question is there other intelligent life out there? We don't know how often, if ever, does intelligent life spawn up. I mean, it spawned up for us. We could be the only ones. I don't think so. I think the numbers are too great, but of planets out there, there must be other intelligent life. But you can't say it for sure. We just don't know at this stage. But I believe in our lifetime, we are on the cusp of this generation or the next to be able to finally discover, are we alone in this universe or not? And it's so exciting, in other words, right? It's great to be alive. So thanks for listening, friends and fans. That was just a sampling of my knowledge of astronomy. And it is my personal and intellectual journey, as I always say, as well as working out. And working out and demonstrating exercises for my friends and fans, you guys and ladies out there, right? Amen. And my other passion is studying again about the military-industrial complex, the secret space program that we've had in place for a long, long time. Again, if you study NASA, you'll realize too, you better believe there's another space program. I mean, all you have to do is study anything to do with the military. You realize with all the spy satellites, everything that's going on, they have everything in secret. And there's way too much secrecy, folks. I mean, I can understand some things they want to be kept in secret, but I think if you speak to most military elitists out there and people in these space programs, they'll admit there's way too much secrecy. And that breeds corruption. That's why I say too much secrecy, you know? So again, especially with this free technology, the anti-gravity, when we made breakthroughs way back in 1954, we should have access to that. Do you remember the UFO flap over Washington, D.C.? It's been a known fact. There's pictures of it. Thousands of people saw it, probably millions now on TVs as well, where we had UFOs flying above Washington. I think it was in actually 1955, 1957, somewhere around there. And, you know, it just shows the military, I think certain elitists, probably German societies back then, were demonstrating their might, showing here's the technology that we possess. And it could have been the U.S. as well. And they fly above Washington to let the whole world know this is the kind of technology that we have. But of course, they don't tell you this, but they show you. Well, that kind of technology, that was before the moon missions in 1963, when the public, we had the public space program with Apollo going to the moon with NASA, right? Well, don't forget, we already had unidentified crazy UFOs with amazing high pitch of technology, greater technology, flying above Washington, D.C. And somehow they were able to get into Washington over the most the most sophisticated airspace, protected airspace in the world, and they're able to go undetected at great speeds to get to Washington. So that's the kind of technology we're talking about. So you better believe, even when NASA went to the moon in 1963, there is evidence that astronauts like Neil Armstrong even talked about how they saw menacing, huge spacecraft on the moon. Now, this is secondhand information. A woman heard Neil Armstrong say this, and she was well respected at NASA. I believe her name is Carol Rosen. I always forgot her first name. Last name is Rosen, I believe. I'll double check that. But she overheard Neil Armstrong say that, and other astronauts, I'm sure, knew that too, and saw other spacecraft and anomalies and structures on the moon. Well, the military were already going to the moon, building bases there. So again, when we go take that mission to the moon back in 1963 with President Kennedy behind that, of course, the great President John F. Kennedy, we forget, and we all should know, it's a known fact, the military are 30 to 50 years ahead always of the general public, okay? So I'm going to tell you more, and before I go, I just want to say that Ben Rich, who was the head of Lockheed Skunk Works, Kelly Johnson was the founder. I said this on the other video too. Ben Rich, who died in the 1990s, made some amazing statements near the end of his life. And of course, he was in the know because Lockheed Skunk Works epitomized black secret projects and amazing technology. They invented created the stealth aircraft, if you recall. The stealth aircraft, which was pretty astonishing technology back then. It was largely responsible, I believe, for winning the war in Iraq with those amazing jet planes and stealth technology. Well, Ben Rich said in a speech to some young people, he said things like, "We have the technology to take E.T. home back to the stars." I think he was using a metaphor. He said, "We have the technology," in other words, to take us to the stars. He said, "We were just missing an equation, but we figured it out," and he said it won't take a lifetime to do it. He also said statements like, if you think anything in Star Wars, Star Trek, he says, we've either been there, done that, or thought or knew wasn't worth the time to do. He said, so, I mean, think of anything in Star Trek, Star Wars, we've been there, done that, or thought it wasn't worth the time. Isn't that an amazing statement, friends and fans? How profound. So that's